And joining us live from the newsroom, 897 reporter Nomusa Pongola, who authored this story. Nomusa, thanks so much for your time, but also for bringing this story to the surface in the public domain to assist those that are helpless, faceless and nameless, and that have to go against the giant of the law, especially where there are cracks of corruption and criminality. Just an update as to how much further were you able to assist in trying to get to the bottom of this criminal activity?
Well, thank you so much, Cindy. Good evening to you and good evening to our viewers. This is quite a puzzling story, Cindy, because talking to the residents earlier on, they had showed us proof that this is a fraudulent activity that involves quite a number of government entities. You name the court, the police, as well as some people that work at the municipality. If you look at the water bills that the residents receive, you will see that one bill, it comes with a different residential addresses. You would find that, for example, Gogo Nyembezi's house would receive a bill with different residential addresses, also with different amounts, but for the same month, which now poses a question as to how can one house receive two different bills in 1 month, which also the other one has quite an exorbitant amount and the other one it's quite a minimal amount. One of the houses, Bongega, one of the residents, she also showed us the bills that she has been receiving. One is named by the other person and the other one is also named by a foreign national. It is addressed to a foreign national. The one that is addressed to a foreign national, Cindy, has close to 35,000 rands that she's owing. That is a water utility bill. But the other one that is addressed to Mr. Naidu, it has such a minimal amount to an extent that we saw another bill that had 285 rands and another one had a zero balance that she was not owing the municipality any amount. But also, Cindy, the municipality, the city of Johannesburg, speaking to our sister publication, The New Age, they said that they are investigating the matter, so it shows you that they are aware of what is happening and they will be addressing the matter and making sure that they get to the bottom of it. But Cindy, it's quite sad that people like Gogo Nyembezi, who is as old as 62 years old, they have to be arrested with two of her grandchild. Last week, Thursday, she mentioned to us that she was evicted by this foreign national who came with JMPD, who came with the SAPS, as well as someone from the office of the sheriff. They evicted her during the night with two 7-year-olds, Cindy. They had to sleep outside. The residents had to take the matter into their own hands and make sure that Gogo goes back into the house. But even after that, Cindy, they went beyond and arrested Gogo and said that she is in contempt of court. She has also she's not supposed to be inside the house, so that she's trespassing. The owner of the house wants her out of the house. But Cindy, the residents say that she is not going to go anywhere until they show a relevant or proof that that can convince them that really this house has been bought, because as she explained, Audrey, that she had put down a deposit of 50,000 rands because she was told that in order for her to own the house at a later stage, she has to put in some sort of an amount so that the house is not sold to another person.
Sorry, Nomusa, we're going to invite calls on this one. If you have been a victim of illegal eviction or your property has been allocated to somebody else without your knowledge, give us a call on 011-542-2186, or you can tweet at ANN7TV or at I am Cindy Mabi. In studio, we also have Andile Chem, representative of residents in Rosettenville. And Andile, I'm sure the frustrations that you have with a reporter also indicating the fact that there is a whole hierarchy of people that are involved in the value chain, be it from the magistrates' court as the clerks, the police involvement, or under the modus operandi of evicting legitimate occupants of this particular property. How far widespread is this practice?
It is very much widespread in Rosettenville, my sister. and it's almost done by estate agencies. Some of the estate agencies that when I made a research on them, I noticed that some of them are not registered, and most of them are owned by foreign nationals. And what they do, they will look at the houses where people like Gogo, people who do not understand the law very well, people who cannot read that very well, and then they will create those documents wherever, sometimes pretend like they are from court, but when you get to court, you cannot find the files to follow up on how it started for the Gogo to be evicted.
Okay, let's get Nomusa's reaction in terms of speaking to the authorities so that we avoid having to send Ugogo Nyembezi and other victims from pillar to post and extend their frustration. When you spoke to Michael Christian, who's the ward councillor for Ward 56, or any other agencies of the law, Nomusa, what kind of reaction or assistance did you receive?
Well, Cindy, legal experts have confirmed to us that no one is allowed to evict anyone without a proper court order, of which in this case it does not happen. It's an overnight thing. People are evicted even at night, not even during the day. They are not even given a warning to say, on this particular day, you need to evacuate the house because the new owner now will take over the house. But also the legal experts have confirmed that in order for the change of ownership of the house to take place, the owner of the house needs to go to court with the new owner and make an agreement and sign that they are signing over the property to that new owner. It cannot happen that someone can wake up and go at night and evict people saying that they have bought a house without any proper court order. You will remember, Cindy, Eunice, when she was telling her story, she mentioned that when she was evicted, she was told to go to court. The matter is now in court. When she arrived at court, only to realize that the matter is not even on the court roll, Cindy. So, Cindy, this is quite a big issue for the people of Rosettenville, but also the municipality will be also telling us as to how exactly are they going to go about in addressing this matter, as well as the councillor of the ward. When we tried to speak to him earlier on, he mentioned that, yes, he is aware of the matter.
All right. Thank you so much. That's ANN7 reporter Nomusa Pongola bringing us an update on the criminal activity of a syndicate that is evicting people unlawfully with the assistance of some law enforcement agencies. And on the line, we have Michael Christian, a Ward 56 councillor. Before we go there, we also have a caller, Lucky. Thanks for your patience. Good evening to you. And tell us your experience. Hi, Lucky. All right, we'll go straight. Can you hear me? We'll go straight to Michael Christian. Councillor, can you just give us an update? A reporter has obviously uncovered what seems to be a thriving criminal syndicate operation of evicting people, occupying land or houses that do not belong to them, using bogus estate agents with the assistance of some rogue and corrupt police and even clerks of the court. Can you give us the details as to how far you've actually investigated and what you'll do next? Mr. Christian? All right, we'll have to fix our phone lines there and try and get them back. Andila, give us a sense of how successful, or rather the cooperation has been from the municipality, the police, including the province.
Well, you know, in municipality there is cooperation, but it is not easy because, like, no one will want to take that responsibility of attending something that has got a story of this nature. The most challenge is in the police station, because when people experience a problem, they have to run to the police station. But most of the time, people are turned away because the police say it's a civil matter. Though it surprised me this time for the police to attend the matter to an extent that they arrest a Gogo, because they normally say such issues are civil matters. But in this case, they managed to get involved in the eviction itself and also arrested the Gogos the following day for the crimes that she didn't commit.
Yeah, which seems very inhumane and lack of empathy, including her being arrested with her grandchildren. But before you continue, let's take a caller. Anonymous, thanks so much. Good evening to you. And can you share your experience or your thoughts with us?
My experience with this one is that I used to work for the municipality, and when people come through to check their accounts, and they would be coming with accounts that are registered into other people's names. So this only means you never know how they get to be registered, but you find a house owner who bought the property having a problem with their own property, that they will receive an invoice that belongs to another person's name. But when they come back to the municipality and check with us, when we check on if the rate has registered the property in their name or in the new owner's name, you find that it's already registered in the new owner's name. So the reason for my call here is that they should just then be alert when they go and visit the municipalities and the courts. They need to then investigate first on who registered the property, and again on how the property was registered, who were the lawyers that transferred the property, because in most cases when you're transferring a property, it doesn't only involve the municipality and the property owner, it also involves the lawyers, the transferring attorneys, and then as well as the people who will be purchasing that property. It's just not a two-way. So when they investigate on who really bought the property, then it should then go back to the rates department in the municipality to then investigated who registered the property, who was the person who was involved.
And I understand that it's a very convoluted, very cumbersome exercise, and the whole web of criminality is so extensive that you can't just go or apportion blame to one person. But just in assisting Ugogo Nyembezi and Mam Yunus and some others that are in a similar situation, so they can go to the municipality and ask the relevant questions in the sense of who owns the property, how was it transferred, or are these different entities that they need to visit?
No, they need to go to the municipality. That's the first, that's the property rates center.
Yeah.
And once they are at the property rates center, the office, then they should ask who bought the property first. Which attorneys transferred the property, and who was the municipal representative who was doing the registrations and the transfers. That's when they can be able to then go back to the matter and attend to the matter precisely.
All right. Thanks so much, Anonymous. You can also send us more details to assist these affected residents. So that's assignment@ann7.com. We'll have Enoch on the line. Thanks for your patience. Will you share your experience or your thoughts with us? Enoch, please switch off your TV. I can hear myself in the background.
I'm only contributing in terms of... Okay, sorry, ma'am. My contribution to this thing is only to say to the residents who are staying in Rosettenville that they need to note the number of the Johannesburg municipality car, the number at the time as well, and also of the police, so that it is easier for them to go to the police station. So there's easy to see whether it was bookers or it was the original police. If it was the original police, it's easy to track down, and it's easy for the police to accept and or deny. Like, for example, the concerned chairperson who is representing them, it would be easier that way. And for the person who is breaking through the case to follow through, and they would actually see that it is a strong syndicate that is looting people's houses around Johannesburg. That's all my contribution.
All right, sir. Much appreciated for your time. We have on the line a Michael Christian, Ward 56 councillor. Michael, thanks so much for your time. Just in assisting these residents, I mean, are you aware of this matter, number one? And secondly, what has the municipality done to get to the bottom of it?
Yes, with regards to house hijacking, it is one of the Mayor Herman Mashaba's priorities, and he has asked General Shadrack Sabir to look into the situation. It's a citywide problem, but particularly it seems to be rearing its head in Rosettenville. With regards to the situation that occurred in High Street, I contacted the sheriff's office, and they appeared to have a court order from the Johannesburg Magistrates Court. Now, obviously, not being a lawyer, I can't scrutinize a court order, but what I can say to residents is that if they are going to be evicted, firstly, they need to ensure that the sheriff of the court is present, and that when he presents himself, he must have his work card on him, and it must have the current year. It must state 2017 on his card, and on the back of it, it must have a signature from the Sheriff's Association. Most of the evictions take place, legal evictions take place on Tuesdays and Thursdays, with a few exceptions. And if the police are present, they do not assist with evicting people, but they are there to ensure that no violence takes place. So the first clue for one to know that they are being illegally evicted and a victim of house hijacking is that if it's not on a Tuesday or a Thursday, that's the first hint.
Yeah.
Then the person that says that they're the sheriff needs to have his identification on it.
Michael, we have a representative of the residents, and he can tell you firsthand that they haven't had any joy, even observing what you say is their responsibility to ensure that the person evicting them is legitimate. Number one, there's an environment of victimization by having the perpetrator present with police and the sheriff. We don't know, Mr. Chem, whether these were actually legitimate police officers or people from the sheriff's office. Michael, just stay on the line, please.
I want to know from Michael if he had seen the order from the sheriff, or the sheriff just told him that there was a court order. The police were Moffat View police station officers, and I think the junior to the station commander was aware of the eviction, because he's the one, when we went to the police station, who, instead of assisting us, wanted to fight with the people. And also, he did not confirm that he had seen the court order that is evicting the Gogos. He refused, because he said we must go to the sheriff. The sheriff said we must go to court. When we go to court, the file is not at the court, so we couldn't get the order itself.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry we're out of time, but just a last word from you, Councillor, just in getting to the bottom of it. Number one, the question was, were you sent a copy, are you privy of the sheriff, or rather the court order? And secondly, to expedite at least these two cases that are more immediate, as you work through the whole myriad of other cases, where can people go?
All right, okay. With regards to this specific issue, I did go and visit the sheriff, and I had seen him a week prior to that. He did show me an order which had the stamp of the Johannesburg Magistrates Court on it. So, obviously I had to try and be as objective as possible in the case. So he showed me a court order from the Magistrates Court, Johannesburg Magistrates Court, and it had a cover letter from the attorney, Mr. Sol, and he showed me two notices that the tenant supposedly signed, or allegedly signed. So if the people are having issues and they are concerned that they aren't being legally evicted, the best thing to do would be to contact the sheriff's office. Otherwise, alternatively, if it's in my ward, they can phone me and I can go to the sheriff's office and see if it is his office carrying it out and what documentation they have.
Just a very last one. Sorry, Michael. Sorry. Just a last one from Andile.
It's so funny that the sheriff has shown Mike all these orders, but he refused to show to the people.
Okay.